Yo, we're about to get AR snapshots in Pokemon Go. This actually means there's something really important regarding how Niantic is going to handle Pokemon Go development in 2019. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. What's happening, everyone? It's me, it's Count, here with another Pokemon Go video. As you heard in the intro, there is something really important regarding AR Snapshot that I really wanted to talk about in this video. And it's something that a lot of YouTubers are not necessarily discussing, so I'm going to be talking about it here. So if you end up enjoying this video, smash that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. Let's talk about it. So AR Snapshot was just announced for Pokemon Go. This was something that a lot of the YouTubers that went out to San Francisco were able to test out. I think this is a really exciting feature, mainly because AR gameplay is something that Niantic has been really developing, but they haven't really done something really special and unique with it aside from maybe like AR+. But this is definitely something that could fit well with the game. What exactly is AR Snapshot? Well, AR Snapshot is basically like an AR photo tool. You could take any Pokemon that's in your Pokemon storage and you could actually place it on the ground in AR mode and take AR pictures. This is a really fun kind of sandbox kind of tool. It's going to make some really cool Instagram pictures, Twitter pictures, and for anyone who's super interested in AR photography, this is probably their dream feature, and it's finally coming to Pokemon Go. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk about regarding this feature that I think is extremely important is the fact that Niantic is paying attention to these niche communities. Like, the fact that they're giving something for AR photographers, I think is a really great step into what we can expect for 2019. Now, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but because 2018 was so feature heavy, really Niantic has to surprise us with stuff that we did not know that we wanted. For example, this AR photography tool, I actually think this is something that not a lot of players have been asking for, but the feedback and the response to this announcement has been just overwhelmingly positive. So what this means is that if we want to predict what Niantic has in store for Pokemon Go in 2019, well, we should just look at the community. Look at what different players are asking for, and Niantic is probably going to release it. I mean, it's very evident that they have their ears to the ground when it comes to this game, what the community is looking for, and this is a really great sign for us as players that they're constantly thinking about adding new and cool stuff to this game, even though the game may not necessarily need it. I think that is a really important design philosophy, especially with the game as it currently is, because Niantic could have very easily considered the game feature complete and put all of their resources into Wizards Unite. So it's really important that we continue to see content flow into Pokemon Go because it shows that they're still dedicated to this game. They're still seeing it as their big cash cow, and really that's what it is, right? I mean, this is the game that made Niantic. So I'm really excited to see what they include. I have a few things that I'm speculating on what I think they're going to add into the game in 2019. But yeah, I'm really excited about this AR Snapshot announcement, mainly because for me personally, I'm excited to finally be able to take AR screenshots of baby Pokemon because I'm a big fan of taking like tiny Pokemon pictures, and what Pokemon are perfect for these kind of pictures? Baby Pokemon. So yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless for a feature like AR Snapshot. I mean, there were so many times where I thought of a really cool AR picture, but I didn't have the right Pokemon spawning around me at the right moment. So this is something that I'm really excited about because there are so many times where, let's say I'm at an event and it would be really cool to have this one particular Pokemon front and center in a group picture. Something like that is possible now thanks to this AR Snapshot feature. So Niantic, dude, like, this is an awesome thing, man. I mean, this AR Snapshot feature was such a nice surprise, and it's just just an indicator for me that they are putting their ears to the ground and they're really paying attention to what the community is looking for, and they're grabbing a lot of their ideas for this game from the community. And I think that is a phenomenal approach because of course we have PvP, we have some solid rating, we have generations of Pokemon that are always going to be guaranteed as content. Right now the game is essentially feature complete, and for them to introduce new mechanics and new features into the game, it's all going to be a surprise. So I'm really excited about what they end up doing in 2019. Now here are a few things that I expect Niantic to implement into the game, possibly in 2019. I actually predict that this year they're going to include some features that will give us alternative ways of obtaining Pokemon, and I think breeding is going to be the first thing. Now, if you ever played the mainstream games, breeding is basically the best way to pick up either shinies or high IVs or both. And I really think these are two things that people are looking for when it comes to Pokemon, especially right now with PvP. Of course, there's some people who want to manipulate the IVs of their Pokemon a certain way so that they can use certain Pokemon in different leagues. And I really think for them to introduce breeding is another dynamic for us as players to do that. So I really predict that breeding is going to make its way into the game in 2019. I personally like the idea of there being a leaderboard system, maybe even like a season reward system. So like people who are high up on the rankings, they can get special rewards at the end of a season. And for players who really want to grind it out and get those rewards, it would be a nice incentive for them to go out and play as hard as they possibly can. But of course, if they were to want to implement a system like this, they would have to deal with cheaters. Of course, I'm talking about spoofers and multi-accounters. They do have a significant advantage in this game, and if they were to introduce a leaderboard, of course they're going to just game the system and just have a complete advantage over legit players. So I expect that if we see a huge ban wave for spoofers, maybe they're going to be gearing up the game for a leaderboard system. Who knows? And of course, we have a lot of third-party groups who are doing just that. They're creating leaderboards for a lot of different players, and you know, I think they're doing a phenomenal job, but how awesome would it be if we had something like this officially in the game? I think it would be really great. Now, I actually think we're going to be seeing different kinds of events using different features of the game. Like, you could see that they tried to do something like that with the Feebas Research Day. I expect to see them try something like that again, although I do think they've learned a lot of lessons from the Feebas Community Day, and I really think we have to give Niantic the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it was kind of like a learning experience. It was very experimental. You could just tell by the way it was designed, and I really think if they do this again, they're going to execute it a lot better. So let's see what they have in store in terms of events. Another really cool idea that I saw from the community is having some sort of catching spree or some sort of contest that they could have every week or every month. And basically what they would do is that they would have one particular Pokemon with an increased spawn for 24 hours or some sort of duration, and then the players who catch the most of this particular Pokemon will be awarded with a special Pokemon or some sort of special reward. I think that's a really neat idea. Like, for example, for 24 hours, there's going to be a whole bunch of, let's say, Psyducks that are going to be spawning, and the players who catch the most of these Psyducks will get a shiny Psyduck or something like that. I think that's a really cool idea. It would be a great way to engage the community with the game. Maybe having it as a pop-up event would be really cool. Like, out of nowhere, they're just going to throw this into the game for 24 hours and players are just going to go frantic and nuts. Of course, that could create some trepidation from the community as well, especially players who are working full-time or people who have responsibilities at home, and at certain points of the day they just can't go out and catch Pokemon. So yeah, it's a give or take. I'm sure Niantic is thinking about stuff like this, but I think it's a really cool idea. You can even make it really competitive. Like, for example, like you could have it so only the top 10% of players worldwide who caught the most of that particular Pokemon will get the shiny version. So it creates this competitiveness to it. But again, it does come down to whether players are going to be available or not, or else you're going to see a lot of players complaining about some things like this. So yeah, like I said, Niantic really has to work it out. So yeah, I'm super excited about the future of Pokemon Go. 2019 is gearing up to be a phenomenal year. They're doing a lot for the community. They're listening to the community, and it's up to us as the community to speak out and talk to them and tell them what we want for the game. I mean, if there is a cool idea that you have for Pokemon Go, you need to go on Twitter and just tweet at Liz George and tell her, tweet at Niantic if you have to. Just talk to people at Niantic through Twitter, through social media. Let them know your ideas because, like I said, they have their ears to the ground. They are listening to the community. They are excited to implement a lot of the stuff that we want in the game. So yeah, it's an exciting time for us as players, and I am super stoked for what could come to Pokemon Go in the coming months, in the coming year, because yeah, this AR Snapshot thing is just phenomenal. And for a lot of players, this is something that they've just dreamed of having in the game. The AR photography community is really awesome, and they're producing some phenomenal content. And for them to have this tool, it's amazing. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video if you ended up enjoying it. Subscribe if it's your first time here. I am Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later.